Hi guys, this is Priya from It's OKR and welcome back to our channel. The topic for today is super interesting because we have received so many requests asking us to create this video. It is about passive income on H-1B visa. I hope you're as excited as I am. Okay, so the major question that exists is what can I have multiple sources of income on H-1B visa? What are the legalities around it? So we are going to try to cover a lot of that in this video. We are also going to answer questions around what if I am pursuing a hobby? What if I'm trying to freelance? Like things like that that you constantly have in your mind when if you are on an H-1B visa. So follow along and hopefully this helps you. So we are not legal advisors, but this is based on our deep research on what's possible and what's not possible. We've consulted with a lot of immigration lawyers around it, but if you're taking any action, it's advised to make sure that you're talking to a lawyer. So let's begin. So the most important thing to remember is while you are on H-1B visa, you can only work for your authorized employer that is mentioned in your I-129. However, you may want to have a different stream of income or have some passive income. So we are going to talk about what you can do to generate those streams of income that's legal. So number one is invest in stock market, cryptocurrency, etc. However, if you're working for a consulting or a finance firm, the laws might be a little different. So definitely get clearance and check on that. But investing in stock market and crypto and stuff like that is totally acceptable. You can also generate rental income through Airbnb or renting out your own home or a room in your apartment. As long as it's not a fleet of properties that you have created and you're not generating substantial income out of it, you should be okay. If you're just making money with a couple of properties and renting out places here and there. This is important to note because Airbnb is going to ask for your social security number to pay you, and this is all tracked using a 1099 MSC. So literally USCIS can track how much money you are generating. So make sure that you're being super careful in terms of the number of properties and the kind of income that you're generating. Again, if it's one off, it's renting a room here or renting a house, it should be totally fine. You can also rent out your car, and there are various services available to do that, especially when you're not using your car. It's very similar to what you're doing on Airbnb. And that car service that you end up using to kind of rent out your car will also require a 1099 MISC to kind of pay you. So everything is super trackable. Again, the piece to remember here is if you are renting out a fleet of cars suddenly and generating substantial income, that's not okay. But if you're just renting out your own car and making passive money out of it, that's totally fine. The next one is you can be an angel investor. As long as you are not heavily involved in the company that you are invested in, you can definitely make sure that you continue to consult and draw income from there. Of course, there are a lot of requirements in terms of you being an accredited investor. We can link some of that in the description box, but read out, and that can be a great way for you to generate passive income as well. One is opening multiple checking accounts to generate interest income. For that, again, it will be trackable using your 1099 INT because it's considered interest income. As long as you meet the requirements, you can get approved for multiple checking accounts and then make money off and distribute your money and make money from the interest that is generated by these banks. So now that we have covered the various income sources that you can have on H-1B visa, let's address the commonly asked questions that come up when you are on H-1B visa. The number one question that we always get is, can I invest in cryptocurrencies while I'm on H-1B visa? Yes, you can absolutely invest on cryptocurrencies if you're on H-1B visa. You can also day trade. However, if you're again making substantially a lot of money just actively day trading or through cryptocurrencies, it might get flagged and it might be treated as your like you're spending a lot of time doing that work, and that is not okay. So the next question that we get is H1B passive income treated the same as your W2 income? The answer to that is yes, because you are required to pay taxes and all of the passive income that you're generating on H1B visa. This one is an absolutely asked question every time. If I have a blog on H1B visa and I start making money off it, do I need to shut it down? Is it okay or not? This is a gray area now. Because if it gets flagged, then USCIS is going to check your intent to starting the blog. If you had started your blog out of passion and someone stumbles upon it and ends up buying it, or you are making some money here and there from it, that's totally okay. And it generally doesn't create an issue. However, if you have created a separate entity and you have a separate bank account and you are making money from it, that is definitely a violation. So this is a gray area, and we highly recommend checking this with an immigration lawyer to specifically understand what your blog situation looks like and what are risks, any, if involved with your blog. But again, the golden rule about this is if it is an interest and hobby and you're not looking to actively make money and you're just maintaining a blog, that is totally fine. But suddenly, if is the intent is to make a lot of money and have a bank account and stuff like that, then it's definitely going to get flagged. So check with your immigration lawyer on this because it's a gray area. So when I say blogging, it covers everything like having your social media presence, being a creator on Instagram, TikTok, having your YouTube channel. When I say blogging, it means all of that. Again, like I mentioned, it's a gray area, so be careful in terms of how you're monetizing it, how much you are getting, and definitely consult an immigration lawyer if you're making a lot from it. So another question that we get is, can I sell my iPhone on H1B on a Craigslist or an eBay and stuff like that? Yes, you can absolutely do that. However, if you start flipping phones on a daily basis and then generate a lot of income out of it, then it's definitely going to get flagged. But if you've just sold something on Craigslist list and made money from it, it should be okay. Another one is, can I get paid to babysit while I am on H1B visa? The answer to this is no. You cannot get paid to babysit because that is an actual job for of someone. So you should not be doing that. However, if you are babysitting for a neighbor or a friend, that is totally okay if they end up giving you a gift. Of course, there is a gifting limit of 15,000 in the US, so you should not be exceeding that. But if you have done that out of kindness or your relationship with someone, it's okay. But if babysitting is something that you do as a side hustle, that is absolutely not acceptable. So this question is, what will happen if I make an incidental, unexpected income that requires me to complete a W-9 or a Form I-099? If I've made a referral bonus for a friend, or I've won a cash prize, or I'm getting paid for an article that I've written, will that get flagged? Will it cause an issue? So in general, no, you will not be penalized for this sort of income. It's totally fine, but you should not be working to kind of generate these multiple income streams. If that is something that gets flagged, then USCIS might request a follow-up to understand what your intent was and how you ended up making that kind of money. So another one is, can I pursue an hobby when I am on H-1B visa? Yes, you can pursue a hobby on H-1B visa, but again, your intent is going to be requested. The IRS looks at 9 reasons to understand whether it was a hobby or a business. We will link that in the description box so you can go check that out. The last one is, can I freelance or work as an independent contractor while you're on H-1B visa? No, you cannot do that. You cannot work as an independent contractor or freelance. You should continue to work for your company that has filed for your H-1B visa. So this big question might come to mind, that how is USCIS even going to find out that I am doing multiple jobs or having multiple sources of income? So there are multiple ways in which this can be done. The number one, like we mentioned a couple of times, was your I-099 generally tracks all of your income. While USCIS doesn't have access to your tax records, they can always request the IRS if they see something fishy and can request that, and that can get flagged. The number two way is maybe a friend, a co-worker, a neighbor reports it up to USCIS, and that's how it gets flagged. And the third one is when you are applying for your green card, USCIS has the right to request all of your employment records, and that's where you have to mention, and it can go under scrutiny. So, what happens if you're engaged in unauthorized work while you're on H-1B visa? You might be required to leave the country and come back again. That resets your I-94. USCIS on their website has very detailed steps on what can be taken, and we can link that in the description box. However, if you think you are in this situation or you have done this intentionally or unintentionally, we highly recommend checking with an immigration lawyer and seeing what they recommend. Definitely take action before it gets flagged. So do consult a lawyer now. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please share it with someone that will benefit from it. Please like, share, and subscribe if you like the content that we create, and leave a comment on the kind of videos you would like us to create. Thank you so much for following along. Till next time, remember, it's okay.